I'm Dr. B, and this is my buzz. A couple of weeks ago, I met a very interesting young woman. She's the choral director of Huntsville High School, and I reached out to her because one of her students had told me she was very involved in working with her students for vocal health. I want you to meet Sarah Coleman today.
Hi.
We're so glad to have you. She's at Huntsville High. There are two things I think have really impacted her in her urgency of this. One is a personal experience, and the other is an undergraduate teacher who did a fabulous job of scaring her class.
Absolutely. I took voice from Dr. Rosephanie Powell at Auburn, and she showed us this video every semester, our whole studio of clients from the Vanderbilt Vocal Health Center. And it's scope videos where you can see their vocal folds in action, and the nodes, some of them were pretty small and some of them were massive, and it just scared us to death. But it really helped us to know the importance of vocal health, and we could hear their voices and everything. So I was always very adamant about being healthy with my voice. And then while I was working at Huntsville High School, my air conditioning broke in my classroom. And so I had a huge fan I had to yell over for 2 months. Well, after it was finally taken out of my room, I went to doctor after doctor trying to get my voice back because it just wouldn't. And finally, after months, I went to the same Vanderbilt Voice Clinic and got scoped as well. And you could see my two little nodes that developed over that time. And from someone who feels so strongly about vocal health, for that to happen to me, shows that it really can happen to anyone. But that's why I try so hard to make sure that vocal health is important and instilled in my students, because not that I want them to all become choral directors and professional singers, but they all clearly have a passion for music that they want to keep up with, and I want to give them the tools to be able to keep up with that their entire lives.
Yes, don't we? Well, we're glad to have you in Huntsville, glad to have you working with our young people.
Thank you so much.
And she's willing to share with us the scope that was done on her.
Yes.
And so I think I'll just let you explain a little of that before we say goodbye to you, and then we'll add it at the end of this video.
Absolutely. So you'll see when they took a camera, it went up my nose and down here, they have me speak, and you can see my vocal folds in action and my two nodes, one on each side. And they also have me say a little paragraph beforehand, and you can hear the difference in my voice now after voice therapy versus before, when I was at really my lowest point and I could barely get sound out because I was extremely hoarse for that whole school year.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but we're
me too.
delighted that it's going to inform your students.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.